Hi everyone. Sorry I'm a little late. Let me just pour the cappuccino in the cup here. As you can see, I did this last time when you were watching. I foamed the milk and I just now putting the cappuccino in here, the froth milk. Let me get it and scoop out some of this froth here and put it on here. Okay. And it's ready to go. All right. So thank you for joining me in the Rectory kitchen. I'm glad you could make it. Sorry I'm a little late. As I mentioned, I'm late because I had a lot of confessions this morning, which is a good thing. I want to, certainly encourage confessions. Hang on one second. It's a little bit of a glare here. I'll never complain because I have too many confessions, that's for sure. So I just figured let me do that and then I'll be able to make it in time. Let me just fix a little bit here of YouTube. If you see me looking, I have YouTube here and hang on one second. I have YouTube here and Facebook here. All right, so we have our cappuccino. Angelo, great to see you. Glad you're here. Ave Maria, great to see you. Yeah, this is kind of like Romper Room, actually. Only I really know you're out there. In Romper Room, Ave, I don't think she said that with the mirror. I don't think she said, I see Ave. I doubt she did that. It was usually Mary, Jane, Joey, Billy, so I don't know. Italian Americans were like, probably little kids were watching that and probably saying, hey, how come she's not saying I see Annunziata or I see Concetta? They probably thought that she was prejudiced because she didn't see any of those kids. She didn't see any of the Italian kids. I don't know what was going on there. Janine, great to see you. Congratulations on your daughter. Tremendous accomplishment. We're really excited about her work that she's going to be doing in that field. It's so very, very important. And being a nurse, I work with nurses pretty frequently, as you can imagine, being a priest. I see them in action and they're really, as you know, remarkable people, the way they take care of their patients and the tireless work they do. So we appreciate everything they do. Kim, great to see you. Dennis, my sister Anne-Marie. How's Olive doing? I don't know why I said Oliver. Maybe I was thinking of my secretary's grandson is Oliver. And I just love that kid. I love all, my kids here in the parish. But when I see them at Mass, and I love little babies, like they're just so cute. So Oliver is maybe I had him in my head. But I'm glad you're watching, Anna Maria. Buongiorno. Yep, Janine. Angelo, as I said, great to see you. Paul, great to see you. I hope everything's going well. Paul's a professor and great professor, actually, of theology. I preached today on the Ascension about, Jesus didn't say to the apostles, go out and immerse yourself in the culture, of the nations and, take from some of that culture and mix it with yours and, don't be too strong in proclaiming the faith to them. He said the opposite. So I'm sure Paul will expound upon that in class, and as I'm sure he does, being the good professor he is. Angelo, good morning. Speaking of little kids, boy, Angelo's little kids, they're a tribe actually, and they're always so great to see them at Mass when they come on Sunday. I can't wait to see everyone. Kathy Kimmel is watching, who is the let me get my napkin here, who is the coordinator of our CCD program. We have class tonight. Those of you who want to attend our class, we're excited about that. So we hope that you can join us for that. Ready to take a sip here. Gianmarco, buongiorno, Gianmarco. Of course, we're praying for you in Italy. The Italians have been through a lot, and they've had to endure a lot. And we're hoping that they're hanging in there. We know that they had to really do a lot. Let me see. Francesca is right here. Francesca. Nope, she won't let me. She won't let me pick her up. So I tried to catch her, but I couldn't. Alex, hello. Great you're watching. Sandra, you're pretty faithful, and you're watching all of the prayer times, and that's really great. So I see you watching a lot. Natalie, great to see you. Hope everything's going well for you at work. I know it must be difficult, but we're all trying to hang in there. Yeah, romper room. Yeah, the kids are saying, yeah, father. Yeah, romper room was a great show. So I don't know. You probably don't remember that, Angelo. You maybe you've seen it on, but you have your own romper room in your house with your tribe of kids. So Elaine, very nice to see you. Tell the doc I said hello. I'm glad you're tuning in. Kevin and Amy Jean, hi. Miriam, you watch a lot too. It's great to see you following the masses and watching as much as you do. My secretary is watching. I just mentioned Oliver, Carla, because my sister has a cat, Olive. It's a black cat. And I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I think was it last week, I called the cat Oliver, and she got really mad because I know the name, but I don't know. I was thinking of Oliver, I think, my little cutie there. I haven't seen him in a while, which we haven't seen. Grandparents haven't seen their kids in a while. So it's hard for us all, right? Sandra, good morning. Claudia, good morning. Corky, Claudia Chiaradio, daily communicant. I know it's really hard not to be at Mass, but we'll be there soon, so a couple of weeks, next week, we'll be there. Miri, good to see you. We had as I said, I always mention Cumberland and the great times we had there. So I'm glad you could watch. Robert, good morning. Good to see you. And let's see, Rebecca, Lupinacci, Kim. Is there information for tonight's adult class? Yes, I'll post it, and we'll have it up on my Facebook. I'll have the link because it's really simple. I don't know. You guys realize how simple it is because we get intimidated by technology, and we're like, oh no, what are we gonna do? It's really hard, and well, how do I do this, and what buttons do I press? But really, all you have to do is click on the link that I give from the class, and when you link on it, it says join meeting, and you click on join. If you can click two things, click on the link itself, and then once you click on the link, join meeting. If you do those two things, you'll have no problem whatsoever catching it. So, I really hope that everyone out there realizes how simple it is. So that's a good question. So we'll give you that information on my Facebook page about class tonight. It's been really going well. Really going well. Charlotte, my cousin, great to see you're watching. Can't wait for us to all get together, as I always mention, with all the family. Like I said, we had a great time at Charlotte's house when I was there once. Everyone was there, all her siblings, and we were just like listening to music. She is like the queen of like the 60s and 70s music. She has every song that you could possibly imagine. And most of them I love. Some, are okay, but most of the songs from that era are just tremendous. We talked about that last time. Mary, great to see you. Francesca didn't go to the beauty parlor. That was yet. That's probably what it is. Yeah, she probably figured, Miriam, that she's not ready for television yet. Now I just cut my hair. I cut my hair again. Speaking of hair, hygiene. Good, you're watching. I just cut my Pasquale. What I did with my hair was, you can see, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know. See, what I did was I got the comb and I lifted up the comb. Well, first what I did was I cut the comb and I put it down to see how much was going to hang over my ear. And then with a scissor, I just cut right around the ear. And then I got the comb, because I watched them do this so much. I got the comb and I just went the back of my ear. I lifted up the hair, and whatever was sticking out, I buzzed with a razor, whatever was sticking out of the comb. And I just did that. And then I did that on the other side. And then I got the, I got my fingers and I went like this, and whatever was sticking up, the hair that was sticking up, I just cut, all around here. I just watched what they do. They kind of squeeze in between your hair, and whatever is lifted up above your hair, they kind of cut, And the problem is, though, it's hard to judge when you're looking in a mirror, like where actually your fingers are to the scissor. And I kept on cutting into the ear, because I couldn't reach it. But Elena Intreri, Antonino cuts my hair here in Westerly. And Elena is a tremendous, tremendous person. Very, very beautiful Christian woman who has a beautiful family. Her husband has a repair shop, a car repair shop. We're both car enthusiasts. So, we have that in common, her husband. And she is a tremendous person. I met her when I first came here. It was Dickie Pignataro who introduced me to her. And because Dickie goes to her. And Dickie used to own Dick's World of Wine over here in Westerly. And he sold the business, and he's retired, been retired many years. And Dickie is a very, very, very good friend of mine. And his friend Sylvia, I've known since I was, a newly ordained, actually a seminarian. I was just out of the seminary when I met Sylvia. And Sylvia is one of my dearest, dearest, dearest friends, and like a mother to me, actually. She was the DRE in our parish here for many, many years, known for her booming voice. And I would imagine she was a teacher by trade too. She has a teaching degree, but I could imagine when she raised her voice to get students' attention. I bet she gets my attention when she raises her voice. Of course, she's going to get kids' attention. But we have a great community here, and everybody does their part. Everybody is they're really great craftsmen and professionals here. What they do, it's a beautiful little town. I always call it like Mayberry. It's kind of like Mayberry. It's kind of tucked away in somewhere southwest in Rhode Island that you really wouldn't know it's down here too much. When I was assigned here as a bishop, by the bishop as a priest or as a seminarian, I should say, and then a deacon, I never even heard of Westerly. But isn't it unbelievable? I guess I did maybe a little, but I thought it was part of Connecticut. I wasn't sure if it was. I was saying it's Westerly. I'm assigned to Westerly. Isn't that part of Connecticut? And then I didn't know there were so many Italians down here. A lot of Italians from Johnston and Cranston and North Providence. We had no idea that there was a big Italian community down here. We had no idea. Here we are up in Providence and Cranston and Johnston and North Providence. And, there's so many Italians, and we're all kind of friends, and, all, coming from the same kind of regions of Italy up there. No idea. We had no idea that there were so many Italians down here. And I didn't know until I got down here, and I was like, wow, where have all these Italians been? I didn't know they existed down here, because it's so quiet. It's so many exits to get down here from Providence. And you have to go through Exeter and Foster and all, places that, I really had never been growing up in Providence. So maybe Warwick, Coventry was the furthest I've been south. That's how Rhode Island is. People who are watching this from Texas are probably shocked, if there is anyone from Texas watching it, or California. Janet, hello, from Massachusetts. Our churches are going to be this weekend at 40% capacity. That's really good. That's really good. Why don't we talk about that? Let me just say hello to Stefano, buon pomeriggio. It's probably nap time. In Italy, it's riposo. They all take a riposo in the afternoon, and all the shops close. And so the fact that Italians are watching right now is very good, because I would imagine they're all, fast asleep in the afternoon, waiting for their next chores that they need to do when they wake up. And then they stay up late. Italians, they're nocturnal people. Italians are like cats. It's incredible. They're like nocturnal people. They're up until, in the summertime, midnight, 1 a.m. Kids are playing on their swings, or little kid rides are open, in towns at 1 a.m. They're eating ice cream. They're talking. It's unbelievable. They eat at 10 o'clock at night. They eat dinner 9 o'clock at night. It's a real adjustment when I go there, because as Italian as I am, in my ethnicity, of course, I live in America. So to be on that routine of eating at like 9 o'clock at night, it's just shocking, and when I'm over there, oh yeah, okay, we're going to go to dinner, and oh, great. And I'm thinking 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And I'm wondering, what time is dinner? And then until I realized that's their system there. 9 o'clock at night, they eat dinner. Once I ate dinner at 11 o'clock at night, a huge dinner at 11 o'clock at night. They're just nocturnal people. And especially too, because it's a very sunny, kind of Florida weather kind of country. So, it's in the middle of the day. It's hot, and so you do things when in the morning and in the evening when it's cooler. It makes perfect sense to me. I'm all for it. Believe me, I'm all for it. If I could, I would move to Italy. But the only reason why I wouldn't want to move to Italy is because my whole family would have to move with me. And that's the thing. So we talked about that. My family talked about that. And we said, we can all do things. I could be a priest. My niece could be a teacher. Her husband, my nephew, through marriage, is a chef, Italian chef. He could find a restaurant in Italy. So we were talking about that. My sister works in a hospital, we were talking about that. We were thinking, well, we could probably find jobs there, because we all do things that I think could transfer to Italy. I could find a parish, somewhere in the South. Actually, there are a lot of towns in Italy, these small little towns, where sections of them are completely abandoned, unfortunately, and beautiful little areas where there are little narrow cobblestone streets and those old-fashioned like cement, houses where you look down an alleyway and it's a narrow alleyway with cobblestone and it's going up a hill. Then there are little balconies with flowers, hanging from the balconies, and these little narrow throughways. Beautiful, gorgeous scenery. For Americans, I think we're shocked when we see that, how old world it looks and how beautiful it is, and how nice it would be for us to just, take a nap in the middle of the day and, have a schedule that accommodates our family, and eat together in the middle of the day, have a big lunch, all coming home from work and having a meal together in the middle of the day. For Italian Americans, we would do that on Sunday. That would be our day that we could do it. We would have a big meal on Sunday, pot macaroni, meatballs, chicken cutlets and eggplant, that kind of thing. We'd do it all we'd have that kind of a day on Sunday, because that was really the only day we could, because the work schedule here is so different than it is in Italy. Okay, so Anna Maria Antorch, nice to see you. My sister's name is Anne Marie, but I always call her Anna Maria. So that's Anna Maria Antorch. You don't know this, but that's my favorite female name. You know that? Anna Maria. That's my favorite female name. And I always said, obviously, I'm a priest, but I always said that when I was younger, if I ever got married and had a girl, I would name her Anna Maria. It's my absolute favorite female name in the world. So just thought I'd let you know that. Monica, very nice to see you. Glad you're watching. Paul, how you doing, Paul? Yeah, Paul and I were together in in Bristol, and Paul and his wife and their son and beautiful, beautiful family. I'm glad you're watching. I haven't seen you in a long time, and it's funny because all the times I've been to Bristol, I just haven't seen you, and it's sad that this year Bristol isn't having their 4th of July parade. I'm really, really disappointed about that. As I know, all of Rhode Island is. It's the oldest parade and the longest running parade in the country. So the fact that it's not going to happen this year is a real travesty. And I usually, Father Zeno is very, very gracious with his hospitality. I usually stay overnight in my former rectory there where I was for 6 years. And I wake up in the morning because I'm an extrovert. So I love being around people. And so one of my favorite times of year is Bristol at 4th of July, because the 3rd of July, like around 3 or 4 o'clock, everyone is there and they're all hankered in and they're like along the streets and they're waiting for the parade to begin. So if you're an extrovert, like it's your like Christmas time because you walk around and it's like New York City. It's like Bristol becomes Manhattan, Times Square for that 2 days. For the 3rd and the 4th, Bristol becomes like Times Square. So if you like Times Square and if you like the environment and the atmosphere of that, then you would love the 4th of July parade in Bristol because it becomes Times Square during the 3rd and the 4th of July. Which is awesome for me. And especially I know so many people. So I'm walking down the street and, everyone's lined up along the streets and like there are all kinds of people. Hey, Father, I haven't seen you in a while, and it's a chance for me to get connected. And then I go to Claudio Curran's house, Dr. Curran. I always go to his house for the 4th because he lives right along the route. And I always go to my friend's house. I'm not going to say who because this woman likes to be extremely anonymous. She really would be mad at me, I think, if I mentioned who she is. I wanted to take a picture with her, like a selfie and she was like, Father, no, I don't do that. But she lives along the route. And I go, that's a clue that you have. And I see her and her family, her beautiful, beautiful family, her children, some are from out of town. And I love her dearly. She was very special to me, her and her family, when I was there for 6 years. And she lives right along the route. And her children, are grown and they're, older. They come back. So out of actually one child that was from out of town when I was with Priest for Life, he lives in California. I went to see him. That's another clue. And I went to see him and it was great to see him because I really didn't know the kids because they were already grown when I was there. So she and her husband, were living alone in the house. So, but I got to know the kids, when they would come to see her. So anyway, it's really a beautiful thing that we have that great 4th of July celebration. But like I said, it's sad that it's not going to happen this year. So I'm hoping to still go. I still want to be there for the 4th. Hopefully Father Zeno will graciously grant me hospitality like he usually does, which I very much appreciate. And he's so hospitable, he's just, he's the best, when it comes to hospitality. There's nothing like him. When you feel so welcomed as a priest, so at home, even though that was my home for 6 years, it's not anymore. But when I go back, he just makes you feel so welcomed and so taken care of, when you're there as a fellow priest. He really takes on that Southern Italian hospitality that's so beautiful. I can't wait to meet my new grandson. Yeah, oh boy. Yeah, well, it's so sad, isn't it, Linda, that, we're in this situation. But, we just hang in there. I know it must be very difficult. Imagine you have a baby and, and your granddaughter and, you can't see him right away. Make sure you self-quarantine, Linda, if you can, self-quarantine for a couple of weeks and, you should be fine, to see her. So I know people who are doing that. So, but you'll be in my prayers. Rosa's from Westerly. Her mother was so awesome. She was one of my community calls when I first got here. And she was unbelievable. Just a tremendous, tremendous woman. Matriarch of her family. She took care of the whole street of where she lived. She made sfogliatelle and squagliatelle, and she made soupy, and she, fed her whole block, when she was alive. What a loss that was, Rosa, to our whole, I know to your family, and to your neighborhood. But what a loss to Westerly that was for us, that when she passed. She was a real presence in the town that was felt. And I knew her when she was, of course, very old and tired and, not as active. But I could just tell by her stature and by getting to know her what kind of a person she was. And because she was at that time as well. I miss her. I still think about her all the time. I think about all the fun we had when I would go there, and, I miss her. I really, and you're her daughter. So, and her grandchildren, I can imagine her whole family, how much they miss her. I still think about her. The link. Okay, great. Kim, the link is on Kim's post. So that's great. Thank you for doing that. So if you're looking for the class tonight, it's on Kim's post. Jennifer, great to see you. Karen, great to see you. I can't wait to get down to Florida with my family. My family had planned this vacation, and we were supposed to be down in Disney World, as you know, because Karen has met my family. She's the best. Karen is the best at what she does in her work, really caring for people, taking care of them when they come to visit her hotel, the hotel where she works, all the people that interact with her, who are guests in her hotel where she works, loves her. I saw that as I was having breakfast. She's just so friendly to people and makes them feel welcome. And that's good, because when you're traveling, even if you're in Disney World and you're in the happiest place in the world, you still, sometimes people aren't as happy as they should be. But you make that claim come true. That's for sure. Always getting honors from her workplace, because she just puts everything into it. Great Catholic too. I've been to mass with her at times around the area. Beautiful churches there in Orlando. And yeah, my whole family, well, not my whole family, but some of my family, a few of us, 5 or 6 of us, were supposed to go to Disney World in April. So that got canceled. We were thinking about going in October, but then, I don't think we are. So we'll hopefully get there next year, as I'm sure everyone's waiting and wanting to go there. We want to take the little girls, my grandnieces, to see Disney World, and one has been there before, but we'll get there, Karen. So hang in there. I'm sure you're feeling very sad that you're such a people person that you're not working right now in the full capacity that you'd like to. Ernesto, buongiorno. Come stai? Well, I should say to you, thank you for saying buongiorno to me. I should say buon pomeriggio to you. Congratulations on your daughter. What a very beautiful young woman she is. Now, she graduated. That was it looked very beautiful, the ceremony. And so God bless you for that, to raise a girl she seems such a wonderful girl. So that's a real blessing. Our children, of course, are a blessing. And when they turn out so well, it all the more makes us happy. So, we have to, you hacked your hair. You think I did, Anne-Marie? You think my hair it's pretty bad, isn't it? I don't, Anne-Marie is saying about how my haircut, I know, it's pretty bad. I know this right here. I have like a spot here that I really cut a little too much, I think. So like I said, poor Elena, because Elena, who cuts my hair, is probably thinking, Father, please, let it grow. It's better than you trying to do it yourself. So anyway, oh, you don't think it was a bad job? Okay. All right. Well, like I said, the thing is, I hate when my hair gets long hair. I hate that. So I could never have survived with my hair growing all over here. And I've always had short hair. I never had a crew cut when I was a kid. I never had a buzz cut as a kid. Some kids, especially in the 70s, parents used to like just, buzz cut. And a lot of my friends had those buzz cuts for the summer. I never did. I never had a buzz cut. I always, but I never liked my hair long, especially, because when I was growing up in the early 70s, there were a lot of like hippies and kids with long hair. And I just hated that. I just never liked that. I never liked like kids walking around with long hair and maybe because of the influence. When I was a kid, my, best friend growing up, I lived next door to, he's like a brother to me, Sal. Sal's grandmother, Nornie, we called her. Nornie would always say to us when we were kids, this is kind of funny now I think about it, because Nornie had all of these little like important little lessons that she would teach us, when we were kids. We called her Nornie, even though Nornie in Italian is grandparents. We should have called her Nonna, to be more accurate in Italian. But I don't know. We called her Nornie, for some reason. So Nornie used to say to Sal and I, look, don't be one of those kids. Don't be one of those boys who does this. Flipping their hair, up from their eyes, over their head. So she always told us, you be respectable, have your hair cut short, and don't be one of those kids who walks around with their hair long and, flips it up like this. So I don't know. Nornie had a really big influence on me. I keep my hair short, and I never liked that 70s kind of look, with long hair and all that. So anyway, that's why I have to cut my hair. Hi, Esmeralda. Hope you're doing well. We just had the feast of Our Lady of Fatima. I was praying for you and your family. Esmeralda is from the Azores and has, of course, what Portuguese person doesn't have a strong devotion to Our Lady of Fatima. And I thought of you on the May 13th when I was there as a priest, as a newly ordained priest. Her children were very little. We always prayed the rosary together with the Our Lady of Fatima statue there. So, it was great to celebrate that feast day today, especially in our current situation that we're in, of course, right? So let's see. Hey, my cousin Bobby's watching. Boy, Bobby, you must be like, it must be horrible for you not to have sports. That I don't know how you're doing it. We got to talk about that, because if you need me to counsel you as a priest during this time, I don't know what you're doing without watching sports. The Boston Bruins and the New York Yankees and at least the Dolphins. You'll be able to, hopefully, will be up and running by then. The Dolphins are my favorite team in that division. So in that league. So the AFC. So they're my team in the AFC. And who knows? Now things have loosened up in your division. Hopefully, the Dolphins have made some moves, and we'd love to see them back up and running. And hopefully now, with what's the shakeup in your division, there might be some good competition there. I'm hoping. So we'll see. Bobby really too taught me everything I know about sports. So I had two sisters, and Sal and I were great friends, but he wasn't into sports as much. But he loved basketball. He loved to play basketball. And that's my least favorite sport. But my cousin Bobby taught me how to play hockey, and he taught me how to play catch and baseball. And, so he was a good teacher, but I wish I were a better student. I didn't excuse me. I didn't excel that much, like I hopefully should have, but I tried my hardest, that's for sure. Great stickball games that we played in the street, and I was good at stickball. I hope you'll give me a little pat on the back for that, because I was a pretty good stickball player. So let's see. Donna, my other cousin, great to see you. Donna Capoverdi, her maiden name. She's a Capoverdi, of course, at heart. So welcome, Donna. Great to see you. And Kim, yeah, Sylvia was great. Yeah, wasn't she when she taught CCD? She was tremendous. And she did that all volunteer. It was really tremendous how she gave so much and still gives to the parish, of course, her presence here. And I just saw her the other day, actually. So she volunteered doing that job and did that out of the goodness of her heart, because she really cared about this parish, as she still does. So she's very, very special. Her husband, who passed in the 90s, who was a tremendous man, the fountain is dedicated to him outside. So when you go by the fountain, think of Bob Guller, her husband, who was a tremendous financier and a tremendous help to this parish, using his skills in finance to really help this parish a lot. It was a big loss when we lost him, and of course to his family too. But I'll never forget him in my life, and I'm glad we have that fountain out there to remember him by. Time to go outside and do some yard work, Pasquale. Good. I'm glad to hear that. You really have to do that because it's a beautiful day to be out there. So we'll have to do that. So let's see. Tom, great to see you again. From Tom from Supreme Ricotta Cheese. Francesca's back. Let me see if I can get her. Francesca, come here. Nope, she doesn't want any part of it today. She doesn't want to be on film. Maybe you're right about that. Whoever it was who said that she's jumping on the counter now. Let me see if I can get her. Hang on. Francesca, come here. Come here. Nope, she doesn't want any part of it. Okay. I feel like I have to have her on camera because I have that graphic that John Taffoni made, and we should see her. Oh wow, Jackie played against Westerly High. Okay, and then the names of the jerseys were Italian. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's how you. Let me see. Here she is. Come here, Francesca. Come here. Hey, Francesca. You have to say hello to everyone, Francesca, huh? How come you were being camera shy? Huh? Why were you being camera shy? Huh? Don't be camera shy. Look. See? Say hello to everyone, Francesca. Huh? You gonna say hello to everyone? Huh? See, I feel like I have to have her on the graphic on the show because she is on that graphic, so she's part of this. But she finally let me pick her up. So, but I think she's fine. She hasn't been groomed like she usually does, but I cut her hair too, which is kind of unfortunate for her. But her mane underneath her chin was getting very, very long, so I needed to cut her hair. So let me just talk a little bit about. Let me just see if there's anything pertinent here that I just want to address from your comments. Hi, Scott. Glad you're here. Sorry, I'm not saying hello to everybody, but I'm trying to say hello to everyone. I see Bob Bruno. Great to see you, Bob Bruno. Oh, Francesca's back there. Let me see if I can get her. So, Bob Bruno, it's great to see you. Hope everything's going well there. Are you guys open? Hopefully you're open. Speaking of opening, oh, thanks for the compliment, Bobby, that I was a pretty good stickball player, if I don't say so myself. I was at least committed. Every time we had a game, I was always ready to go and willing, ready, and able. But talking about opening, let me just kind of talk a little bit about that while we're still together, because I know that there are a lot of questions about parishes that are opening, and we did get the guidelines, which was really excellent. The guidelines were, I think, extremely, extremely helpful, and they really helped us to kind of put together a program or something that we might want to do that's going to be a big help to us. So Francesca keeps on coming in. Francesca, what are you doing? Huh? So what we want to do is we all have our guidelines, and we all have the the ability to say, okay, these are the guidelines we have to follow. This is what the bishop and the state, has said we have to do. And every parish is going to handle it a little differently than the other. So you have to be very careful about not to think that because one parish is doing something that every parish is going to do it the same exact way. So we have to be very careful about that and cautious about that for us to remember that, not to make sure that is something that doesn't happen. So what we really have to do is look at every parish as its own kind of particular entity. And although there are guidelines, they do give some kind of a little bit of flexibility regarding how we're supposed to go about doing this and what we're supposed to do. So what we're going to do at Immaculate Conception is we're going to have masses that will open. Now, at first, I said that we were going to have extra masses, like a mass at 6 o'clock on Saturday and a mass at 6 o'clock on Saturday, and on Sunday we were going to have a mass, an extra mass on Sunday night. So, but I decided that I'm going to wait before I add 2 masses because we really don't know what kind of capacity of people are going to come. We know that 25% capacity. Now, for our church, 25%, we're 750 people in our church can fit. 25% capacity is about 187 people. So I think between the masses we already have that are scheduled and the fact that we're going to have the overflow go downstairs in the parish hall and have it be streamed where people can see it, and the fact that we can go into the parking lot and people can watch the mass in the park. It's not an outdoor mass because the diocese said they don't want an outdoor mass. So it's not an outdoor mass. I'm not going to be celebrating mass outdoors, but you can go into the parking lot. And if you feel like you have an immune system problem or it's compromised, or you feel like you have pre-existing conditions, and you feel like you're uncomfortable being in church, you can stay in the car. And at communion time, I'll have an extraordinary minister go out and give you communion. So I think that between the masses we already have, which we have a 4 on Saturday, on Sunday we have a 7, 9, 11, and a 7 p.m. on Sunday. And I think between those masses and the overflow of social distancing downstairs and having people watch the mass in their car in the parking lot and on their electronic device, and then having an extraordinary minister go outside, because really when you think about it, a lot of parishes have masses where, if it's a confirmation or if it's something big and they know they can't fit everyone, they'll stream it downstairs in their parish hall or something. And then people will watch it in the parish hall, which is only, right above them. And then the priest will come, or an extraordinary minister will come and administer them communion. So really, if you're in your car, it's kind of like the same thing. You're in your car, only you're not in the parish hall. You're watching the mass on a screen, and then you're coming out to communion. So I think anybody who wants to come to mass at Immaculate Conception Church, even in the area, if you go to your church and you feel like, wow, it's too big, there's too many people here, I feel a little uncomfortable, or you might do that at Immaculate. Immaculate, you might come and find that there are a lot of people and want to go to another parish. So, as Catholics, we're not restricted, of course, to our own parish. We can go to other parishes for mass. So I think we'll be able to accommodate everybody if we do it this way. And if I find we don't, if I find after the first weekend, because we talked to the parish council about this, if I find that after the the first weekend when we're open, if there's just too many people, maybe there's a lot of people in the parking lot and they really want to be in church, or there are people downstairs to the capacity and at every mass and they want to be upstairs. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does, if there is a need, then I will add masses if there's a pastoral need. But I don't see how we really need to now, considering we're at 25%. I was worried about that. I was worried if they said only 50 can be in church or only 100 can be in church. Our 25% capacity in our parish is 187 people. Now, I think that overall, I know by doing the math that overall we get more than 170 people at each mass or overall. Like there might be some that are less, there might be some that are more at each mass. But if you add up 170 times how many masses we have, 4, 7, 9, 11, 12, 5. If you add 187 times 5, we get more people typically on a weekend than those numbers. So, but because of the pandemic and the dispensation from the obligation, and because we will be streaming the masses still online, you still will be able to get them on YouTube and on YouTube and Facebook. Because we will still be doing this, we should be able to accommodate everybody. And those who don't feel comfortable, stay home. You don't have the obligation, and you can watch the mass being streamed. If you are come here and you feel a little uncomfortable because we're at about 187 people, and you want to go downstairs, then feel free to do that. If you go downstairs and you feel like there is still, too many people, or if there are too many for you to be there, then stay in your car. We have a huge parking lot. It's all on one level. Our parking lot is right behind the church, and it's all on the same level, and it's all right there. So it's very, very easy for us to go downstairs and to bring communion to people's cars. So that is how I'm thinking we can make this work. And as I said, I don't think that we need to add more masses, and because we can accommodate everyone, and Kim, outdoors in the car is great for the elderly. You're right. If they sit in the car and we make sure that they have their sanitizer, that someone's with them to make sure that we have the sanitizer, and that they're, in case they do, in the directives, it says, the hand and the tongue are both available. To be honest, I really think that it's more sanitary on the tongue than it is in your hand, because if anything, your hands are and your saliva too is going to carry the virus, if God forbid, if you do have it. But the problem is when you give in the hand, we don't want it to be disrespectful, and because when I give communion in the hand, I usually my forefinger here, the tip of my forefinger here, where my fingernail is, typically touches the palm of the hand. You can't help it. You usually touch the palm of the hand unless you drop the Blessed Sacrament into the hand. What is this? I don't think we should drop the Blessed Sacrament into somebody's hand. It's not, we're not, giving communion by dropping it into someone's hand. I don't think that's I think that's less reverent than it should be. And the only way we cannot touch the hand is if we drop it. And I just think it's not good for us to drop it. My opinion, only my opinion. That's why I think receiving on the tongue is good, because some extraordinary ministers or priests receive communion when they receive it, they go like this. And I don't know why they do this, because this is a less efficient way. But if you go like this, and if you wait for the person to say amen, and then you put the tip of the host on their tongue, I almost never, ever touch the tongue. But again, there'll be somebody there with the Perel bottle that if I do touch a tongue, which like I said, I very rarely do, but I have to say at times I do, then you just wash, you just use the Perel. But let me tell you, you're more likely to touch the hand as the priest or the extraordinary minister, because again, when you're putting the communion on the hand, unless you, and I'm telling you this right now, I am not dropping the Blessed Sacrament on a hand like this, flicking it on a hand. I'm not doing it. So I really hope that when you come to Mass, you'll receive on the tongue, because it's a much more reverent way of doing it, and it's more sanitary to do it. Because, like I said, if you do it properly, you're not going to touch the tongue. I'm going to have to, if you use the hand, I'm going to have to just constantly be using the hand sanitizer, because I touch the hand, because I don't want to drop the Blessed Sacrament, like, flicking it into your hand. I don't want to do it. So that's really the things we have to be concerned about. But I think it's a full proof. But hey, Deb, glad you're watching. How's little Salvatore, my little buddy? Can't wait to see him. Boy, do I miss him. I miss all our little kids here. I really do. So anyway, those are my thoughts about Peter, great to see you. Thank you for everything you're doing with sharing your music with us. And you're a great kid. So it was great to see you grow up too. So you've turned into a very fine young man who, again, not one of those kids who goes like this with their hair. Why? Because of, your parents, good upbringing. But anyway, we really, all have to pull together. And I really hope that you'll, realize that, we'll get through this. And this, I think what we're doing in our parish is really going to work for our parish. Again, there are other parishes out there that might be doing things that are different than us. But again, it's not right or wrong. It's not like these other parishes are wrong. They just have to handle their parish in the best way that they know how to regarding the guidelines. This is best for our parish, especially because I don't want to turn anyone away, and I don't want to turn people from other parishes away. My 7 p.m. Mass is a catch-all, especially now that the beach is open. People like to go to the 7 p.m. Mass. I don't want to turn people away from that 7 p.m. Mass. So I really want to make sure that downstairs we are fine, and outside. Now, again, if I do see a need, then I will add the masses that I said I would, because again, I think more important than anything else is that we don't make people feel like they're anxious about coming to Mass, or they're on a system that they're not sure about, and we all are welcome. All are welcome for holiness. All are welcome to strive for holiness. And that really is the motto, I think, of the Catholic Church. Not all are welcome, period, but all are welcome to strive for holiness, because we all are here trying to do our best to strive for holiness. And that really, how we do that, most especially, is in the context of the Mass. Corky, thank you for doing we must trust in Jesus. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay. I think we covered everything today. You got to see Francesca. Glad you could watch. I'm going to have my breakfast now, colazione, because I haven't had it yet with confessions and Mass and morning prayer. So I'm just about done. I have a little more of my cappuccino. So glad you could watch. Hope that cleared up any questions you had. Go to Kim Massey, to her site, and see about tonight's class. I'll put it on my site as well, my Facebook page as well. But thank you, Kim, for doing that. Great to see all my cousins. God bless you. Can't wait to see all of you. Can't wait to see all of my parishioners. Connie, how you doing? I was just happy Feast of Our Lady of Fatima. I was just talking to Esmeralda about that. Connie has a strong devotion, of course, to Our Lady of Fatima, being Portuguese, and was such my dear friend when I was there at St. Leo's. We had a lot of good times together. Connie got me through a lot of, as a priest, we need people to get us through difficult times as well. And Connie and her presence there, her devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary especially, got me through, some tough times there. As much as I loved it, I have tough times here. I had tough times in Bristol too. It's not just St. Leo's, but St. Leo's was unique. It was a beautiful little parish. I really loved it there. The rectory was beautiful, old Victorian house that we had really, through elbow grease and a lot of time and effort, really fixed up that rectory. It was a disaster area when I got there. So it was just great that it was all fixed up, and we, Father Cisco has been more of the beneficiary than me there, but we really, I had a great time there. So Lauren, great to see you, and Connie, I agree with you, Father, when Holy Communion, I make sure that that's a good point. It's a very good point that we actually put it down on the hand and not flick it on, so we're going to have to abuse the tongue. I really believe that. And then just make it sanitary. If we do touch, you just wash with Perel. We're going to touch the hand anyway, and we need to wash with Perel. You're going to touch the hand unless you drop it from a distance. Like I said, it shouldn't drop into people's hands. That's not the way we receive communion, is dropping it into people's hands. We place it into people's hands, or we place it on the tongue, and we can't place it into someone's hands if we're touching, because we're going to touch the hand. So anyway, God bless you all. It was great to have this time with you. I can't wait for next Thursday, actually, to do it again. And have a blessed day. Enjoy the beautiful weather out there. We got to get out there. Like I said yesterday, I was at the beach. I'm going to see. I don't know. It's going to be a tight day today. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the beach, but I might make it out there to take a little walk somewhere else. So have a blessed day. And may God bless you today. And let me give you a blessing, actually. So bow your heads and pray for God's blessing. And may this blessing remain with you, help you, keep you firm in your faith, strong at heart. May you embrace our Lord's Sacred Heart and our Blessed Mother's Immaculate Heart. May this day be a day of grace for you, helping you throughout the day. And may you keep healthy and safe in God's love and care. And I bless you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, so see you at 12 o'clock for if you can make it, for our prayer of Rosary, Adoration, and Benediction. 3 o'clock, we have Divine Mercy Chaplet. 5 o'clock, we have evening prayer, Vespers. 6 o'clock, we have the class. And then after class, actually, at 7:30, we have a youth mass, actually, that we're going to do online. So it's going to be for young adults. Some of our young adults and youth have organized it. So we're going to have that mass at 7:30 for the feast day. Okay, so it's a busy day. So we'll see you soon, and have a blessed day. Buon colazione, and we'll see you soon. God bless. God bless everyone on YouTube. Glad you could watch. And I'm sorry I'm always looking here, but I don't look at, because there's a lot more people who watch there. So I figure I'll look at them, because there's hundreds maybe, or I don't know, something like that. But there's 5 or 6 that watch. So I don't know. I maybe don't pay as much attention. If you can see, I have this little box behind me. This box is a camera that I'm going to attach to my phone. So it'll be nice. I opened it up. I don't know how to use it. I have to have a parishioner who knows these things come and set it up for me. But it's going to improve the quality of the picture and the sound and everything. So we're looking forward to that. So have a blessed day, everyone on YouTube. Thanks for joining me. God bless. I'm great to have you with me for breakfast and cappuccino. God bless.